Welcome to the Jersey Score. So the Arizona Cardinals finally released their new uniforms, and we're going to react to those. Now, it has been almost 20 years since they've had an updated look, and they were definitely due. So in anticipation for this release, we actually did a video a few weeks ago talking about all the NFL teams that are due for a new look. You can go check that out. Please do. And before you do, please watch this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, when I first got word of the release, I was laying in bed on my phone about to go to sleep. And so I turned it off, I didn't look at anything, and I wanted to do a live reaction video. But it's been a couple days, the release has been out, and it's been unavoidable. I've seen pictures all over social media. So this isn't completely live reaction, but this will be my first time going in and really diving in deep into all the nuances in the new look. So without any further ado, let's get to it. All right, so let's get into this. So first of all, I am on sportslogos.net, and it's my favorite site for going to for anything logos or uniform related. So go check it out if you haven't already. But looking at this, the first image I saw on social media was maybe this picture or a similar one, but my first reaction to it was great. They're a lot cleaner. I noticed the stripes on the shoulders, and I really like those. And I thought, okay, definitely a step in the right direction. Looked very promising. So I've seen some things since then and that I'm less enthused about. But let's go down and here, let's watch this video and get an idea of what's on there. See the writing on the shoulder stripe, the Cardinals right there, not a fan of that. So yeah, I mean, I stand by it. These things are a lot cleaner than they were. Definitely a step in the right direction. My guess is that the reaction to these, I've tried to stay away from it, but it's probably pretty mixed. So I think with all the hype, they're probably not where fans would like to see them. Probably we're expecting something a little bit more than this, but considering where they were, I think there's definitely a strong move in the right direction. Now, there are some things like these little speckles in the helmet, not really my not something that I was looking for. It doesn't really move the needle for me at all. I think it's a little silly, but it's not something that you'll see on the field, so I don't think it'll be distracting. I'm not a big fan of the glossy logo on there. It looks like it's got some 3D effect to it. Could have done without that. And yeah, it says 3D logo on this image. So, I would have preferred the normal, but again, I don't think that's going to be overly distracting. The Arizona on there, I don't like it. It doesn't take away too much from the uniform being clean. It really doesn't have a whole lot on there, so I don't think it's going to be too distracting. I think we'll take a look. I think I noticed the other ones may not have it on there, and so it's a little bit cleaner. But yeah, I like that. But what I like less. So I like the numbers. I like the perforation on there. I don't think that's something you'll see from the field, but up close it gives it kind of more of a retro look to it. I'm not as big of a fan of the outline on the numbers. If you notice, nothing else. If you see this Arizona, the protect the nest, which is fine, it's on the inside. Those things, the Nike, none of that has silver around it, and so it's really just on the numbers. I think if they hadn't done that, it would help it really pop and be a little bit cleaner. But other than that, it's not a bad look. It draws some parallels in there with the shoulders, and we see that here. I really like those stripes on the shoulders and down the pants. Oh, here we go. But I'm not a fan, as I said when we watched that little video, was this Cardinals here on that shoulder. I like the silver stripe. I just take the text off of it. I love the stripes down the pants. And then we have the alternates, which look like they were ripped off straight from Ohio State's black alternates. And now I think black is definitely overdone now in sports. Everybody feels like they have to have a black version, and I get it. It's popular. I'm sure it sells really well. At least for the Cardinals, it's a natural part of their color scheme, so it doesn't feel too forced. It's just doesn't feel necessary for me, but I'm sure these will be popular. So here's all three looks side by side. And I think my least favorite thing about these is that they really locked in on the color rush. That's not my favorite look. And I think it would look really nice to have a mismatch between the red uniform, white pants, and vice versa. And something else that I'm just now noticing looking at this picture is that the red home uniforms don't have the stripe pattern on the pants or on the shoulders. And I think that's another miss because the stripes were one of my favorite things about this look. And so they could have done it just replacing the red for black stripes and still having that silver, or perhaps making the thin stripe silver with a thicker black stripe in the middle. Maybe one of those combinations would look better, but I think that's too bad that those uniforms didn't get it. So I'm really less of a fan of the home now that I realize that. The Arizona on there again doesn't bother me, but seeing it next to the other two looks without it, it does look better. The one thing I'd like to see if you're going to have it on there is perhaps some more space between the letters and the number that's really like right on top of it. But again, overall, the uniforms moved in the right direction. They're cleaner. They brought in some throwback elements to it with the numbers and with the stripes, but I think they missed on a lot of things, and they focused a lot of time on things like the logo on the helmet and the shiny there and the speckles in the helmet, things that ultimately don't matter. I don't think people were looking for when they missed on some of the smaller, more important details. If I were to grade these, I'd probably give them a B minus. I think they still move in the right direction. It's a definite improvement upon what they have. And overall, there's no major glaring mistakes on these, just a lot of missed opportunities to really nail the look. I think something that's a definite positive for these is that they didn't outthink themselves like the Commanders did when they had a perfect look. Everybody liked the Washington football team look. All they really needed to do was slap the logo on there, and people would have been happy. But and the logo is another story for them. But my point is that the uniform, they overthought it and they made unnecessary changes that people were not looking for. And to me, those ended up as a disaster. So at least these moved in the right direction. But you tell me, what do you think? Do you like these? Do you think these changes were a positive, or are you completely out on this look? Let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.